So into this maelstrom of activity and non-activity comes C-300, which I would describe as a modest, very modest private members bill, drafted within the limitations of a private members bill, the most significant of which is that a private member cannot compel the government to spend money. And it merely provides a withdrawal of Canadian taxpayers and pensioners' money through EDC or CPP in the event that a company is found to be outside recognized CSR or environmental standards. Now, to listen to some, you would think that this is the end of Western civilization as we know it. Canada is the center of world mining. It has the best technology. It has the biggest companies. It has the most expertise, and it has the most favorable conditions. C-300 won't change any of that. Those facts will remain, whether or not C-300 receives royal assent.
There was also no effort to consult with the stakeholders and people who really knew about this stuff. And you have to ask the question, why not? You know, the opportunity was there, and just to coin the phrase that you gave earlier on, John, if you'd done that, we may not be here today. But as a result, what we have is extremely poor legislation and a very poor process. So there are systems of accountability in place, and the problem we have here now is that the debate is happening at the political level. It doesn't belong there.
One thing that he did not raise was the fact that the complaints process would involve ministers of our very government, of external affairs and of foreign trade, investigating companies for their activities overseas. And the very ministries that ought to be supporting these companies' operations overseas, that these ministers would be instead investigating the companies. And what I was saying is that the fact that there's these complaints and an investigation by our very government would be used by other foreign governments against the activities of Canadian companies. These foreign governments or ministries could use that process against the companies and revoke licenses or approvals or hold back. So it'd make life even more difficult for these companies. So the irony of this bill is that he's trying to come up with something that will actually provide sort of a rubber stamp for approval for activities working overseas. In fact, it will make things more difficult for Canadian companies, those companies that are trying to do the right thing.